Something's off on Coronation Street, and it's not just the usual rumors floating around the Rovers. There's a body now. Somebody isn't telling the truth. And just when you think you're finally onto something, the answer slips right out of reach. But here's where things get really interesting. What if the killer isn't acting solo? Even more unsettling, what if all the hints have been right there the whole time, hidden in plain sight? This is what's brewing between Monday 4th and Friday 8th May. Believe me, you'll want to keep watching. And hey, if you haven't subscribed to episode Whisper 2.0 yet, now's the time. With the way this story's unraveling, you really don't want to miss what happens next. The murder that shakes everything. It all begins with a moment that sends a chill straight through Weatherfield. A discovery so grim, so unexpected, that it stops the street in its tracks. Betsy is the one who finds the body, and honestly, you can just imagine the shock on her face. This isn't something you walk away from easily. This is the kind of thing that sticks with you. At first, there's confusion, people scrambling for answers, hoping maybe that there's been some sort of mistake. But then it hits. This isn't an accident. This is murder. And just like that, everything changes. The atmosphere, the trust, the way neighbors look at each other, it's all different now. Because when something like this happens, everyone becomes a suspect, whether they like it or not. And here's the thing. Someone out there already knows exactly what happened. The only question is, how long can they keep it hidden? A very public arrest. Now you'd think the police would keep things quiet, handle it behind closed doors, but not this time. Because as the investigation picks up speed, tensions start rising and cracks begin to show. There's one person in particular whose story just doesn't sit right. You know the type, a bit too calm, a bit too rehearsed, and then it happens. A public arrest. Right there, in full view, no warning, no escape, just handcuffs and stunned silence. Honestly, moments like this are what Corrie does best. That sudden shift where everything feels real and uncomfortable. But here's where it gets interesting, because even after the arrest, it doesn't feel finished, not even close. If anything, it feels like the start of something even bigger. So, have the police got the right person, or has someone just taken the fall? The twist that could change everything. As the week rolls on, the investigation digs deeper, and that's when things start getting messy. We're talking hidden details, missing pieces, and a growing sense that this case is far more complicated than it first appeared. There's evidence being tampered with, data that suddenly disappeared, and someone, somewhere, is clearly trying to cover their tracks. Which begs the question, why go to all that trouble unless there's something bigger to hide? And then comes a moment that really sticks. A photograph. Innocent at first glance, but look closer, and there's someone else there. Someone who shouldn't be. That's when it clicks. This might not be a one-person job at all. And honestly, if that's true, we're looking at a proper conspiracy on the street. By the way, if you're enjoying these weekly breakdowns, make sure you're subscribed, because next week, if this carries on, it's going to be absolute chaos, right? And speaking of chaos, Danielle hits breaking point. Away from the murder, there's another story bubbling under the surface, and it's just as intense in a different way. Danielle is struggling, and not in a quiet, manageable way. This is the kind of pressure that builds and builds until something snaps. It starts with tension, frustration, a sense that things are slipping out of his control, and then suddenly it all spills over. There's anger, regret, and a moment where he realizes he might have gone too far. But instead of facing it head on, he does what a lot of people do when it all gets too much. He shuts down, pulls away, tries to escape. And honestly, it's hard to watch, because you know this isn't really solving anything. If anything, it feels like the start of a downward spiral. So the question is, who's going to step in before it's too late? David, Shona, and a very dark truth. Now this is where things get properly unsettling. David and Shona are already on edge, and then the truth about Jody starts to come out, and it's worse than anyone expected. We're talking manipulation, deception, messages that weren't what they seemed. David realizes he's been played, and not just a little bit, properly manipulated. And for Shona, it's a complete shock to the system, because suddenly their home, the place that's meant to feel safe, becomes something else entirely. A crime scene. Let that sink in. And just when they think it couldn't get any worse, more evidence comes in. Blood, not just from one person, but multiple. That's the moment where everything shifts again, because now it's not just about what happened, it's about who else was involved. And honestly, you can feel the tension between David and Shona starting to crack. Trust doesn't break all at once, it chips away, and this might be the moment it really starts to fall apart. Todd finds an unexpected ally. In the middle of everything kicking off on the street, this bit with Todd actually lands quite differently. It's quieter, but you can feel the weight of it. He's clearly not all right, and it's been bubbling under for a while now. You know when someone's trying to keep it together, but there's that edge to them? That's Todd right now. There's anger there, proper frustration, especially with the feeling that certain people have just walked away without facing anything. And honestly, you can't really blame him for feeling like that. Then he ends up having this unexpected moment with Danielle, and it's not what you'd think at all. It's not dramatic or over the top. It's just two people having a real, honest conversation. But that's what makes it hit, you know? They both understand exactly what the other's been through. No need to explain every little detail. It's that unspoken, yeah, I get it kind of connection. And in a show like Corrie, those moments can be just as powerful as all the shouting and drama down the line. Still though, you can't help thinking this might open a few doors that were better left shut. Because once people start talking, especially about stuff like this, things have a way of coming back up. And if Todd starts digging deeper, or Danielle decides to speak out more, this could easily kick off a whole new wave of drama. Viewers will definitely have something to say about it, whether this helps them heal, or just drags everything back into the spotlight again. A goodbye that feels too soon. This one's not about big shocks or twists, it's more of a proper emotional one. And honestly, it hits in a different way. Well, getting ready to leave Weatherfield just feels a bit sudden, and you can see it written all over Ben's face that he's not handling it well. It's that classic situation, innit? You want to protect your kid from everything, keep them close, but deep down you know letting them go might actually be the right thing. Still don't make it any easier though. You can just imagine the tension building, little arguments, things being said in the heat of the moment, and Ben slowly realizing this is slipping out of his control. And then just like that, it's decided. No long build-up, no easing into it. It just happens, and that's what makes it feel a bit raw. One minute there's still a chance things might change, and the next, it's basically goodbye. Those quiet exits always hit harder, don't they? No massive drama, just that empty feeling after someone's gone. You just know it's gonna leave a gap, especially for Ben, and viewers will definitely have something to say about whether this was rushed or exactly what Will needed. Either way, it's the kind of moment that lingers a bit. So, a murder, a mystery that's only getting deeper, and a street full of secrets that are just waiting to come out. Honestly, this week feels like the beginning of something much bigger. But what do you think? Has the killer already been revealed without us realizing? Is the wrong person behind bars? And who else is hiding something they don't want exposed? Drop your theories in the comments. I always read them, and some of you lot come up with better twists than the writers, not gonna lie. If you enjoyed this, give it a like. It really helps the channel. And subscribe for more weekly spoilers and theories. And I'll see you in the next one, because if this week's anything to go by, Weatherfield's only just getting started.